Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened in the Soaps. This is Days of Our Lives edition. Y'all know how we do on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to give this one an 8. Today is Monday, a new week to these soaps, July the 25th, 2022. All right, y'all. Stay with me on this because it was a lot of people moving around and I'm going to try to catch it all. If I don't, you know what they say in the church, charge it to my head, not my heart. All right, let's go with baby. Jake woke up and he said my back hurts because Kristen has he and Ava sleeping on the air mattress. I said, now wait a minute, how did this happen? But anyway, she has them sleeping on the air mattress and everything. And so she tells them, she wakes up and she's refreshed and she's like, oh, Ava, this coffee's so good and everything. And Ava was like, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And she said, you ain't have to get out the bed with me. She said, you hog all the covers and everything. And anyways, y'all, let's move on from there. So they're talking and whatever, and she says she's about to go speak to Gabby because Gabby owe her favor. She's the reason Gabby got to keep her seat in with the demerit. And Jake is like, what do you have planned for her? And she said, calm down. You don't have to get that excited about your girlfriend. And Ava's like, ex-girlfriend. And Gabby said, and Kristen was like, I was just observing. No, observe its ex-girlfriend. I said, oh, well, okay, Ava, you tell me it's better if Jake said it, but okay. And so Kristen leaves. Has to go or whatever because she going to mess with Gabby. So when she leaves, Jake says, do you think I should call Gabby? And Ava's like, why would you call Gabby? Like, what's going on here? She said, listen, because he was trying to take a shower and all that. So he go take a shower. When she come out of the shower, she said, listen, I'm trying not to be that jealous Ava that ruined my other relationships and everything. But it's really concerning me that you're so concerned about Gabby. And I said, well, give it to him, Ava, because I'm concerned too. And she says, I've been second fiddle so many times. I've been second runner up. I'm not doing it again. So if you still have feelings for Gabby, she said, now I have feelings for you. She like love him or whatever. She didn't mean for this to happen, but it's happened. But if he still has feelings for Gabby or whatever, you let me know so I could go ahead and move around and, mind my business. Because she doesn't want to be second fiddle to no other woman again in her relationship. The man really be pining for somebody else. Girl, please go over here and tell my girl Nina on General Hospital. But anyways, he tells her, listen, no, it's not like that. I want you. I want to be with you. You're not second fiddle. He said, I was, for Gabby, I wasn't the one she wanted. She wanted somebody else. So I understand what you're talking about or whatever. He says, I'm committed to you. I want to be with you. And that is what it is. So, okay, let's move on, y'all, because it's a lot of subs to get through, and I'm not trying to hold you too long. All right, so then we go to Steve and Kayla, and they're talking about, they said, how could the governor release all these people? He pardoned villains. Like, look at these psychopaths, he's a pardon. So Jada comes up, and Steve helped Jada get this job. Her dad was marketing and everything. And so she tells them that she's actually there to speak to Kayla because she needs Dr. Horton's medical records. And Kayla was like, why? And she said, she's investigating Abigail's murder and everything. And they're like, what does uh Sarah have to do with all this? So Kayla is automatically put up her defenses, and Steve is like, listen, let's just go have some breakfast and calm down. Because Kayla was like, that's doctor privilege. We don't have to give you those records. She said, well, as the police, if we need them for an investigation, we can get them or whatever. And so Steve said, let's calm this down, y'all, and go and have some breakfast at the pub, Brady's pub. So then we see that Brady and Eric are talking, and baby, Brady is jumpy. He nearly jumped out of his skin because he is that afraid of what Kristen might do. I said, your baby is in California. Why are you so afraid of her like this or whatever? But you talking about it's scared. So he's afraid of what Kristen might do or whatever. And so Eric's like, let's go in here and sit down. So they in Brady's pub and everything at Romans, and they're sitting down and everything, and they're enjoying, the breakfast and all that, and just talking about Kristen, and Brady's just like, that is Rachel's mom, so I can't like keep her away, especially like the governor gave her a full pardon. He said she did reach out to me and she wanted me to bring her to prison, but I didn't really want to do that, and she was in California, so I had an excuse not to. He said, now I don't have like, I could tell her she was in California and Kristen has the means to go see her or whatever. And he's like, Eric is like, well, that is her daughter. And he was like, yeah, I know. That's what Brady was like, yeah, I know, but he just wants what's best for Rachel. So then it's a young man came up, right? And he was messing with the tip jar. And Eric saw him, so he grabs his hand or whatever, like, what are you doing, sir? Why are you messing with this tip jar? So when he grabs his hand, Eric tells him, if you need help, I'll help you. Brady was about to call the police and he says no. But then the man runs away and he goes crashing into Kayla, Steve, and Jada as they're walking in. All right. So then we see Chloe and Nicole. So if Nicole had stopped, she would have saw Chloe look gloomed and doomed. But she was excited. She said, I did good on the trip. I've been on the plane since dawn. So obviously they're setting it up that she doesn't know anything. So she's like, where's Brady? Sleeping in late? Oh, he should know better. He could get his butt up in here. And then she looks at Nicole. She was like, what's going on? And then Nicole tells, then Chloe, she looks at Chloe and says, what's going on? Then Chloe tells Nicole about everybody who got pardoned. And she said, are you kidding me? So then, of course, she knows that Brady is worried about, Kristen and all them. All right, y'all. So then we go to Lee and Gabby. So they're in the bed or whatever. And Gabby's in the bed, but he up and he tells somebody, I love you on the phone. And Gabby is like, who you talking to while I'm laying up in this bed? And he said, my mom. She said, I haven't heard you mention your mama not one time. And he says, my mom there, my dad is just so domineering that you might think my mom is not there or whatever, because I'm always about him. He said, but yeah, that was my mom or whatever. And she said, he was like, are you jealous? And she was like, I'm not jealous, but I don't want to be wasting my time or whatever. He said, well, I have to go in a building where your ex is or whatever. She said, he said, and Brady, and Jake didn't like our relationship at first. She said, and he was like, but it seems like he's okay with it now or something. She said, he's moved on. And he said, are you jealous about him moving on or upset? And she said, let me show you how I'm upset. And then they get in the bed, y'all. So then they get ready and they go to the office. I said, Gabby, what you got on at the office? You acting like one of the Young and the Restless girls, girl. And so they go to the office or whatever, and Kristen is waiting on them. Now, Lee tried to tell Gabby this, but she wasn't paying no attention because she was so happy. And so she said, what are you doing here, Kristen? And Lee said, let me show you. Let me tell you. And she said, no, I'm finna call the police. And Kristen says, I got what your boyfriend trying to tell you is I got fully pardoned. And I'm here to stay. Oh, so then we see Jada, Brady, Eric, Kayla, and Steve, and they're all talking because the man ran off or whatever. And Jada's like, I could check into him and everything. All right, sorry about that, guys. So they're like, and Brady's like, well, who are you? And they say, this is Jada. She's new on the force and everything. Now her and earlier maybe they got chemistry. So they say she's new on the force and everything. But Brady says, I gotta go. I'm worried about Chris. And he said, you believe the governor's pardon? And Steve and Kayla are like, no, we cannot. So then we go back and we see Nicole, Chloe, and Brady talk, and he's just telling them that he's really upset. Have they heard from Kristen or anything? And they were like, no, we haven't heard from her. And he asked Nicole, is she okay? Chloe, is she okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm okay. And then he tells Nicole, because he says he saw Eric earlier, and she says, oh, okay, she got to run an errand. She said, he was like, but she told them, if I see Kristen or run into Kristen, anything with Kristen, I will let you guys know. So then we see Kayla, Steve, Eric, and Jada talk. And I said, Nicole, you about to lose this man. I know you married to Rafe. But that's what Chloe had told Nicole earlier. She was just like, Chloe told Nicole that Brady and Kristen has this weird connection. And she said, it's something that it's just always there. But you would know about that. And she said, yeah, but me and Rafe worked out. And she said, and Nicole was like, oh my gosh, you and Allie, Eric and I are over or whatever. And they were like, girl, nobody believe that. Anyways, I said, but Nicole, oh, you about to have trouble with Miss Jada because she and Eric are hitting it off. Like, and so he tells her he's between jobs. He used to be a priest, so he's really between jobs right now. And then he tells her you can stay at the Salem Inn. They rent out well, I mean, it's not apartment technically, but they rent out rooms, apartment / style, so it'll be more affordable for you. Because she said, I can't keep staying in this inn. I have to find me a place to stay. And so then she tells Kayla that, that because Eric leaves because he's going running, and they say they're gonna run together or whatever, and they're gonna meet up. They just really hitting it off, and Eric sees it. I mean, Kayla sees it because she's looking at them or whatever. But anyways, Jada tells Kayla when she gets ready to leave that she didn't want to upset her. She's just trying to solve the case, and Kayla understands. So then we see Nicole is in the park, and this man come up to her from the pub earlier, and he tells her, "You want up?" He tells her, "I give me that purse or whatever." And of course, Nicole is just like, oh my gosh. And okay, so then we see that Jake and Ava, he tells her he wants her to prove his commitment, that he rushes home. He got a ticket because he was rushing home to get to her. She said she be sitting there like a little schoolgirl waiting on the phone to ring, and they really like each other and love each other, and he wants to make it official, so he wants to go to the jewelry store. He wants to get her that ring. And she said, you trying to marry me? And yes, the answer is yes. So then we see that Brady is just telling Chloe who knows what Kristen's going to do. So he has beefed up security and everything. And he says, no telling what Kristen's next move is going to be. Now, what he doesn't know is that Kristen has actually went and talked to Gabby. And when she talks to Gabby, she tells Gabby, you owe me one. You owe me a favor. And because you owe me a favor, I'm here to cash in. So Gabby thought, well, what could you want? Like, because Kristen told her that if you don't help me, I could... You could ask your boyfriend. I could have another meeting, and you could be out at sea. I mean, as a running DiMera. And so now, whatever it is, Gabby is giving her the favor. And then we find out what the favor is, y'all, because Brady is like, I want beefed up security and everything, because you never know what Kristen move's next move is. And she said, you don't have to worry. Here I am to tell you, or you don't have to wonder. And she says, can one of you get your boss a cup of coffee? And I said, oh, no, you didn't, Kristen. No, you did. A mess. And then we see, so the man is really being aggressive towards Nicole, and Eric comes running through, and she yells, Eric. And so Eric is like, hey, calm down. We don't have to do anything crazy. And then the man holds Nicole hostage. And y'all, that was Days of Our Lives today. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, I'm so sorry about that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for a new episode.